Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. Today we have decks for all four Marvel Snap new cards, but we also have some decks for those of you who didn't get the new cards. And because of that, we're going to kick it off with a top 10 deck that is absolutely tearing up the meta. You've probably seen this, you probably know this deck, but let's make sure we understand how powerful this is. This is one of the major meta forces that we want to take a look at. It is the Thanos version. This is built off of the back of Derek's list. Derek, at the start of the season, created the ongoing list that's been everywhere. Conifer did the obvious thing and added Captain Carter. Captain Carter is very, very strong, being able to be buffed in three different ways in this deck by Blue Marvel, by Captain America, by Spectrum, make her a very strong card in already what is one of the top decks in the game. Honifer is the creator of this list. He's finished number 2 on the Infinite Leaderboard previously, but he is also currently around rank 10. He was rank 5 at peak with this deck. This deck needs Sam, Goliath, Mockingbird, and Thanos. Those four are your required Thanos cards at the moment. Wiccan can be Phastos or Luna. Wiccan is better, but the other two are fine. Captain Carter, Captain, that's right, can be Super Skrull or Dazzler. Dazzler is what she was before the change. All right, so a lot of what this deck is, and we're not going to go into any great detail for all of these cards because we've talked about variations on this so many times. But Ant-Man, Goliath, Speed, actually, let's just go in order. Ant-Man gets to a 1/5. That's big. That 1/5 can then be buffed. Goliath gets to like a 2/8 to 2/10. That's really, really big for a tune. Sam can get to a 2/7. Very big. He can also buff Captain America, uh, Steve Rogers in this deck, while also giving an extra way to get Mockingbird cheaper because his shield works with that, and an extra hit for both Spectrum and Blue Marvel. Captain Carter, if I mean she's at if you can get two cards behind her, she's giving +4 power. That means she's at least a 3/6. That's a really good rate for a 3, as we've seen with Rhino. But if we buff her with literally anything else that can buff her, now she's giving like the Blue Marvel is the smallest buff here, and now she's a 3/8. Now she's Gladiator. We get a Captain America, and now she's giving um plus instead of Blue Marvel, and now she's giving an extra +2 to both back cards. So now she's a 3/10. It's very easy to make her play way above rate. Captain America, if filled with ongoings, is a 3/9 and obviously has synergy with both Sam Wilson and Captain Carter, as discussed. Cosmo is your protection and tech card, which is incredible right now. The better you are with Cosmo, a lot of the way better you're going to be doing in this meta. Speed, meanwhile, is around a 3/8/3/9 in this list, who is again buffed the same ways. Wiccan gives you energy to make sure you can fill your board. Blue Marvel, it plays for like a 3/14 because you do fill your board, while Spectrum plays for like a 3/16 a 6/16 or 17. Mockingbird is something like a 1 or 2/9, and then Thanos is the only actually expensive card in the deck, but even he pays for about a 5/12 that can't be destroyed. What this is everything being ridiculously ahead of rate in terms of stats for the points. That's what makes this deck so good. It synergizes amazingly. It draws all these cards with Thanos, and then even three of those Thanos stones are even ongoings, so they will benefit your Goliath, benefit your Blue Marvel, benefit your Spectrum. Turn 1, you want to draw stones. Turn over Ant-Man. Turn 2, you want to play Sam Wilson over drawing more rocks. Um, Draw means play the Infinity Stones, if anyone's curious. I know some people have been confused about that. Draw just means play the stones that say draw on them. You play those before the other ones unless you're filling your hand. Turn 3, Cap if Sam Wilson, or you can play whatever curve seller. Cap is fine in general. Carter is fine in general because she can be buffed later because Spectrum is in the deck. She's also relatively well protected from Red Guardian here because you have Infinity Stones, which almost always have less power than she does. Mockingbird is a card that you can play from as she fits from now on. You might notice that Mockingbird is written in green. That means Mockingbird is a snap condition. Wiccan here is a snap if it's active on turn 4. Incredibly powerful, over a 3/1. If you do play Wiccan, you're going to want to be careful not to overfill yourself before the end of the game, though. Turn 5 is generally speaking Blue Marvel over Thanos. A board wide buff is very strong. And then turn 6, I found what I often do is I play a lot of my cheaper stuff. I'm dropping like an extra stone. This is where I'm dropping Goliath. I'm just trying to fill up the board with a bunch of power. Or you can play Spectrum or Thanos, as the case may be, if you need to go taller and over the top. Any of these work. This is one of the best decks in the game and one I urge you to try. We're going to be getting to the deck I had the most success with the new cards, but first I'm going to ask you to hit that sub button if you're willing to. We're trying to hit 25,000 subs in 2025. It's been over 2 years since we've missed a day on the channel. Hit that sub button, please. It will help us out a ton, and we will give you at least 3 new decks every day. And we are giving you a Captain Carter this week. All you have to do is sub, like, and comment. You can win a free Captain Carter by doing so. What to comment will be later in this video. And now we're on to Fanfei. This card felt unreal in move. Like, so good. Activate, move your other cards here to the right. So you drop it on like a pile of cards, and then you just let them sit there, right? Um, you can do it on turn 5 to throw things like from the left to the middle, and then you can have a cloak on the right, and then the opponent sort of has to figure out what you're going to move to the cloak, but you've already made it big because of Fanfei. You can play it and throw everything to the right when you don't see cloak, which is really strong, including Craven stuff. You can play Heimdall, then trigger it, pushing whatever lands on it back, or you can trigger it, then play Heimdall if you want to wait that extra turn. It can help protect from Shang-Chi. It's not really vulnerable to any tech in the game because it's a 4/7. It's not going to be the smallest thing for Red Guardian. Nothing else affects activate. This card felt so much better than I thought. I thought it was going to be clunky. Its 7 stats really matter. Everything about this really matters. Moving a bunch of cards onto a Craven and then like using a cloak, even in the left lane, a cloak, and moving like your Fan Fei and your big old Craven over there is like a 20-point lane. It's amazing. Such a good card. I cannot believe how good this card is. I really did not expect it at all. I can't wait for Sizer to get his hands on it. He was like passed out by the time like the new cards came out, but he's gonna go crazy. All right, so Shang Enjoyer, however, did get to make a deck with the cards, and this is the one I played and had most success with on the day. This was my most successful day one deck of this new, suddenly extraordinarily move heavy meta, because a lot of people suddenly have Madam Web um, in this meta, right? And we got 4 new move cards released yesterday. Absolutely stellar stuff here. You can find Shang Enjoyer at twitter.com/Shang Enjoyer. You can also check my VOD either on YouTube or Twitch, twitch.tv/PulseGlazer, to watch my games with this deck. This deck needs Madam Web. Topaz and Fanfei can be Alioth and Aranya. I'm actually pretty sure that Topaz should be Aranya. I played Topaz a grand total of 0 times in my games. Now, let's go quickly card by card. So, Ghost Spider and Iron Fist are here to help you get your first move out. They're your extra like movers. Be a little careful with them. Try and keep them out of the right lane. And outside of that, you can just sort of make sure your movers happen. Madam Web is wildly powerful in a snap condition. If they don't have Red Guardian and you do have Madam Web, it's very hard to lose. You can almost always get 2 or 3 turn moves a turn from that. Madam Web is also great with Topaz. You play Madam Web and 2 movers in that Topaz lane, right? Like you get 1 mover back in there, and then sorry, in that Topaz, in that Fanfei lane, and then you throw that to the right, and now Fanfei is gonna be sitting there in the middle alone, but you've got 2 movers and Madam Web in the right, which is just a lot of power. Or Craven and another mover in the right, and that's a lot of power, and it's really good. Then we've got Dagger. Dagger gets big. It's a Thanos meta, so Dagger has almost never looked better. She was outperforming Vulture in a lot of games. Craven outperformed both Dagger and Vulture sometimes. It's wild how good this is now that it has both Cloak and Fanfei, along with Heimdall. Craven was just often like a 20 plus power card, a pure lane winner. Hydra Stomper is very good. It can get to 20. Craven, it didn't feel like a particularly challenging to get this to a lane winningly, stupidly huge card. Then we have Cloak. Cloak on the right or now in the middle on turn 5 as you do other things is incredibly strong. One of the more consistent and powerful things you're going to be able to do in the game. Cloak is like the secret key to this deck. Cosmo is your protection. Um, I guess we can just talk about it here. In addition to the stats you're going to see on the next slide, I also took this into my Snap Judgments League tournament game, which I won, beating a negative that's on negative almost every game. Cosmo was absolutely key. One game, I was able to Cosmo their negative, Snap, chase them away, really get a big win. Another game, I knew that I played Cosmo left and I stopped a card, and then I knew they had to try and play mid, so I Ghost Spidered my Cosmo mid, not having another way to move it there, and that was able to stop a big Sage play that could have beat me because then they could have Taskmastered. There's a lot of stuff like that. Cosmo is amazing both offensively and defensively for this list. Once you get used to it, you're going to be crazy good with it. Vulture is your second best mover against anything but Thanos. Torch just gets stupidly huge, right? Torch gets crazy, crazy big and lane winningly big, like unbelievably quickly in this list. You Iron Fist a Torch into a Madam Web, and then you've got a 1/4, and then you move it one more time, you've got a 1/8, and then you Topaz it, and you've sorry not Topaz it, you Fanfei it, and you've got a 1/16, and then Heimdall or whatever, and you're done. Heimdall or Cloak, and you're done. You've got a the lane is one. Topaz did not feel good. I never wanted to play her. There was always something better to do. She's worth testing, but I'm pretty sure that should be out on your spot. Fanfei we've talked about, and then Heimdall is your late game crusher. Don't feel like you have to play him, and don't feel like you have to play him not on Cosmo. A thing I did fairly often was just drop him on Cosmo and be like, cool, 10 power in that lane. Good stuff. Let's go. All right, so Shang Enjoyer went 9 and 2 with plus 22 cubes, which is absurd. And I went 7 and 1 with plus 13 cubes, which is absurd. This list felt great. I was beating Scream lists with it fairly simply. Turn 1, you want to pass. Turn and negative. I mean negative just by outpowering it sometimes. Turn 1, pass. Turn 2, web over Craven is more or less equal to fist for Vulture. You have to look at what else you have. Craven can be fit in later more easily than Vulture can be moved if you didn't have the web. Vulture or Torch moved or onto web. Cosmo is totally fine as your drop on 3. If you have nothing else to do on 3, this is where all of a sudden that other card, I'm going to have to get used to these cards' names. Topaz is suddenly a good card. Turn 4, Fanfei in a pile and move. You can also Fanfei on 5, but it's better on 4. Turn 5, Cloak right, mid pending Fanfei, and Cosmo Dagger Vulture. So like you're playing Cloak right, and then you're playing Cosmo Dagger or Vulture. If you're pushing everything to the right, you can Cloak and then move that. It works really well too. Turn 6, Heimdall or smaller movers and Cosmo, and then you win. Holy shit, is this list good? I don't know what else to say. I think Eliath is now wrong in this list. This feels like because you can just use Fanfei and Heimdall to grow all of your stuff so late in the game that opponents really don't have much of a chance to react. Which means you can throw Prio, which means you can avoid Shang, or you can gain Prio to drop Cosmo. Chef's freaking kiss to this list. I don't know what else to say. It felt so strong. They might have rebusted move here. All right, next up, we got to talk about Hydra Stomper. A lot of people really seem to love this card. I'm hearing a lot of very, very positive things. This was my least favorite of the new cards. Straight up. Uh, every other card that we're going to talk about felt stronger. However, Hydra Stomper is still like a good 1-8, 1-9, 1-10, right? Like, sorry, 3, 6 to 3-8, 3-9 most games. Sometimes he gets much bigger, generally with Silk. When he does, he feels amazing, but he's slightly awkward to play because a lot of the time, like you don't want to play him on 3 because you need to play the mover stuff early in the game, right? So you need time to play him late in the game, and the late game doesn't always offer that. He's still very, very good, but like everything else feels insane, and Hydra Stomper just feels very good. So this is again a great card. This is a ridiculous set of cards. The best decks for Hydra Stomper were with the Batrock Zelepel, Batrock the Leaper, because um, Batrock was easily becoming a 1-8, 1-10. However, his moves could clog you, and his moves could give you other problems, right? In addition to clogging you, his moves could like you could want to play a card to move to a location, but then Batrock will move there, and you might not want Batrock there, so you have to be very, very careful. He's very, very powerful, but he is going to be a higher skill cap card than he seems like. His best home thus far has been Scream, and I don't think it's particularly close. This is a deck from yesterday's video that I had a lot of success with. This is where Topaz felt utterly amazing. There is nothing I would rather do on turn 3 in this list than play Topaz. Getting her and then being able to like Red Wing and Vulture on the same turn is absurd. If I can do that with Madam Web in the middle, I've now got like this insanely lane-winning Vulture. It's a chef's kiss beauty of a deck. This one felt so good. I didn't think I was going to be able to get Strong Guy all the time. Strong Guy was a 3-9 in basically every game but one. This felt so strong. Then we have the Stomping Screen Den deck, and this one felt absolutely wild too. I was able to win a bunch of games. We'll look at the stats after it. This felt very, very good. This is a meta deck. Scream is back in huge force. If you're going to be playing move decks, you're going to have to practice in beating Scream. Beating Scream is doable. Beating Scream and Craven, however, is very, very hard. So with the Den deck that we just looked at, I went 4 and 1 plus 9 cubes. And if you're seeing a lot of move right now, if everyone bought these cards in your portion of the meta, then you can play Kingpin over Arrow or Cannonball because Kingpin means that as they move things, they're going to start getting hit, which is really, really good for you. Uh, the first person I saw do that, I don't know who initiated it, was Husky Puppies 35. And meanwhile, with the Roram deck, I went 6 and 2 plus 8 cubes, and I was able to match Thanos decks in power. I only lost to one Thanos deck because they managed to red guard. It was a freaking Onslaught Citadel matchup, and they managed to red Guardian one of my ongoing cards. And like outside of that, this deck felt crazy good, like so strong. So make sure you check out yesterday's video if you want full guides to those lists. However, Topaz is a beast. A beast. This card is so good. Did I review Topaz twice? No, good, good. I did not. It's late at night. I had to stream a whole bunch. It's getting real, real late. So Topaz is a monster of a card. I don't even know how to like in a deck that wants her, like particularly like the surfer y stuff. We're gonna look at another surfer in a minute. In any deck that really wants her, she's just going to be an absolute ton of power. She may be enough to, in fact, make Hercules meta. I don't know if she's my favorite card or the most powerful card, because Fun Fae felt really good, but she's like the coolest card. She's insanely good, insanely interesting, and like that it's every card you play here, right? And then like the middle gets filled really quickly this way, so be a little careful. But who cares, right? Once the middle is filled, now you can play cards in her location, and she's not even a downside there. So this is Ika's move Surfer, and this one is so cool. I didn't actually get to play this because I didn't see it till after stream, but I'm gonna play this a lot because one of my favorite things to do in Marvel Snap is play Galacta and then play Human Torch. And with this list, I can play Galacta and then I can play Human Torch on Topaz and immediately have a 110. And that's not that means if I go 3 into 4, my turn 5 can still include things like Ghost Spider. I can still play freaking Vulture. I can play Human Torch. I can get a 20 power Human Torch in one turn and a 9 power Vulture in one turn with this. Or I can do the same basic thing with Hercules and just go to freaking town. Although with Hercules, obviously, I'm going to need to use the move slightly differently. Holy crap, is this list cool? Uh, Everyone's running 2099 right now. We'll see. So you can find Ika at twitch.tv/Ika_MTS. He is brilliant. We're going to look at another one of his decks in a moment after this one. This deck needs Madam Web, Topaz, and Galacta. Aranya can be Doctor Strange. That is the only real replacement, although I guess Iron Fist is fine too. I like the idea of Strange because if you get a bunch of big stuff stuck mid, they should probably give up on mid, and then you can use Strange to pull that out. All right. Aranya doesn't especially work with Topaz well. Um, However, the caveat there is that you don't always have Topaz, and Aranya works way earlier, and thus it is very, very strong. It's especially good with Human Torch because every power on Human Torch counts for more. Ghost Spider is your basically after I moved something with Topaz and I need to get out of the middle play, so make sure you try and save the card for that. That is the key play unless you get specifically Madam Web mid. Human Torch should get stupidly big here. Human Torch plus Galacta is one of the best plays in the game, but even if not, you have plenty of other big move scalers. From there, we have Dagger, who's also very big. This is a Thanos meta once more, so Dagger is great. Madam Web is amazing with Topaz or in a lane that's not the Hercules lane, and you should be relatively okay. Brood gives you a last turn power play of 15 power with Galacta, while also just being very strong. Try not to play Brood early because you do need the space for your movers. Surfer buffs Brood, Surfer, Vulture, Topaz, and Hercules, which is not a ton, but it's more than enough. If you get the Brood out, Surfer is worth it immediately. You don't always have to play him, but when you do, you feel very good. Vulture, good. I don't know, whatever. You play it on Topaz, you play it with Ghost Spider-Man and Web Aranya, and you get a bunch of power. Remember that we're trying to double move here where possible. We're using Topaz onto Madam Web, or with Ghost Spider, or we're using Topaz with Hercules. Topaz is the key card to the list. She's damn near a snap condition in this. She feels like almost Madam Web good. Hercules gives you access to extra move. It's really strong with Topaz. It's hilarious if you can get Topaz left or right and Hercules mid, where you can just drop a freaking mover in there and then watch the numbers go burr. It's awesome, awesome stuff. Plus 3/5 is decent stats. Fair warning, however, if you see Sam's shield, do yourself a favor and don't play Hercules if you can avoid it. Galacta is amazing for Brood. It's amazing for Human Torch. It's good to hit anything else, but when it's Brood or Human Torch, you feel real unbeatable. And then 2099 is not amazing or crazy, but hey, sometimes you just drop it and wins you the game, right? You drop it on turn 5 or 6 with Aranya/Ghost Spider. You drop it on Madam Web, or you drop it on Topaz. And in any of those situations, you just have a lot of power, and you took some power off the board. He ends up playing, generally speaking, as like a 5-14 or so. That's good. Ika went 10 and 3, 77% win rate. This list is beautiful and I'm in love. Turn 1, Aranya. Turn 2, Madam Web mid. Over Aranya. Turn 3, Topaz over Hercules. Topaz can be a snap condition. I'm going to need to see a little more. Turn 4, Galacta over double move Vulture Torch Dagger with 1 plus her. So you can do one of your like Aranya or Ghost Spider with Vulture, Torture, Dagger on turn 4 with either Hercules or Topaz in order to like get double moves. You can do 2099 Topaz on turn 5 or Torch Galacta or just Brood. And then turn 6 is usually the last 3 in Surfer, but sometimes it's the turn 5 stuff too. Uh, yeah, this is the shit. I don't know what else to say. Play this list, please, if you can. Hey, if you're interested, please check out twitch.tv/PulseGlazer, where today at about 3:15, I should be streaming some Marvel Snap. I will immediately be playing that Eco list. I promise. Our season pass question: should you like to enter the season pass giveaways? Are you seeing Move, Strange, Thanos, or Scream? Which of these are you seeing the most of after the new cards came out? I was still seeing largely Thanos, which felt crazy to me. I thought people would be playing the Move cards. People are still in love with Thanos Strange. It's everywhere. Don't forget, see you later today. All right, we're going to finish with Ika Screamhawk. This list is everywhere. I'm covering it just so you have it. I actually had this list a few weeks ago when Ika first made it, and it was a good list, but it wasn't like an incredible list. And since then, Thanos has exploded, and now this is an incredible list. Because it hard counters Thanos. That seems like a really good reason to play a list right now, right? Beating up on Thanos. Um, Darkhawk is very big against Thanos, and then you Scream is just amazing against basically everything else. You can find Ika once more at twitch.tv/IkaMTS as Ika is on fire. He was complaining on stream that he hasn't had a good cook in a bit, and I'm just like, what? This needs Scream, Darkhawk, and Sam. Cannonball can be Arrow. Cassandra can be Red Guardian, and I'm partial to Killmonger. All right, Korg makes your Darkhawk bigger. When they draw a rock, you are so far ahead. You don't know that they drew the rock unless they play it for some reason, but once people draw rocks, you are super far ahead. Scream is one of the only +4 scalers in the game and one of the very best cards in the game. Sam Wilson is another scaler, and he can scale with both Captain America and with himself and Craven, while also making Miles cheaper. He is amazing in this list for those reasons. Spider-Man can trigger almost everything. He triggers Scream, he gives you a possible Craven buff, and he makes Miles cheaper. Sandra Nova is here largely for that Thanos matchup. She's often like a 3/8, 3/9, which is pretty damn good. Juggernaut's not amazing into Thanos, but it steals games otherwise. People don't think Juggernaut will be in this list unless they've seen the video, and Cam's covered this, so many have. But Juggernaut's real use against Thanos is to be played around turn 4, turn 5, to try, if you know where they're going to play, to try and clog them. Polaris is another card that helps clog. It makes Miles cheaper, it buffs Craven, it buffs Scream. Rock Slide is just A, you want them to draw rocks, and B, it makes Darkhawk bigger. Miles as a 1/6 is great. Darkhawk, as generally speaking, about a 5/13 to plus, is lane winningly big, which again is why maybe 2099 deserves a little more credit. And Cannonball is like a 5/20 fairly often, right? That's one of the best cards in the game, especially if you can get one lane clogged. So this is everywhere. It's one of the better decks. I think that it has been taken out by the Den style screen deck in terms of the best deck with Scream. But if people start playing Killmonger, all of a sudden this one's better. So keep this in mind. It's a major deck. Turn 1 Korg, turn 2 Scream is equal to Sam, is better than Craven. You choose Sam if you have Craven to play. You choose Scream if you have like Polaris and they've played a 2, or if they played a 1. Turn 3 Polaris if Craven or Scream. Craven if Sam. Cassandra is just fine in general, especially against Thanos. Turn 4 is 2/2 or Rock Slide. This is like a good spot to play like Spider-Man himself, along with your Craven or Sam or Scream, as the case may be. Turn 5 is Juggernaut and a 2, particularly if you played Rock Slide, or you can drop Darkhawk. And then turn 6, Cannonball and Miles. If you needed to Cannonball on 5, you can try like a Juggernaut and another 3 to win on 6. Awesome. Awesome list. Ika's on fire. Play it. Live it. Love it. Look at when I made this list. April 15th. I've been sitting on this for half a month. All right, if you'd like to see some gameplay tonight, especially if you're not free at 3:15 when I go live, make sure you check out Game of Flash X between 9 and 10 p.m. Eastern tonight. Pretty please. He's awesome. He deserves all the love and all the support. Questions of the day. Nice and simple. Diflo asks, Captain Carter went from not being played much at all to being one of the best cards in the game. Do you think they leave it as is, or does it immediately become a nerf candidate? What nerf would you give it if you were deciding? So I do think Captain Carter is one of the best cards in the game. I think she's an S tier card. I think she's great. but I actually don't think she needs a nerf. I think she's reasonably disruptible in ways that really matter. Because Scream can mess with her so much, because she's so often Red Guardian bait, because Enchantress is still a card that exists, Rogue is still a card that exists, Super Skrull, etc., etc., etc. I think that she's a extraordinarily powerful card. I think she is a great card in ongoing shells, Thanos shells, Galacta shells, and ongoing Thanos, Galacta, and Surfer shells. So she's got four major decks that she's really good in. But we seem to be entering a part of the meta because move is so prominent where we're going to like 30, 40 power. And outside of the ongoing shell, I'm not sure she's enough power. And I think that's going to leave her in a really interesting place. I think for the time being, even though she is excellent, she is fine. Certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. If you're interested, please check out patreon.com/snapjudgments. First, our patron of the month, Bricks to Click. Thank you to Abigail Kiesland, Mandatory Burnout, my former Alliance leader, irregardless. Oh, it is a word. LAB, always kind. Ink, the Graphite Fan, Iron Frost, man, you sure are. Hota Navarrete, Thinking Poker of the Thinking Poker podcast, Primed Ryan of the Primed Mind app, Ryan Berkey, Burke Avenue, Ryan Wood. Check out Ryan Wood Snap on YouTube for some great videos. Heretics Lee, the King of Questions, Koirei, coming all the way from Japan with all the rudeness, Kazushi, who keeps winning all my giveaways, Archangel 3K, who's 4K now, Black Dahlia, Perofros, the Goat Seeker, Goatsy, and Code, Alliance Leader Cruz. Hallowed, Only Fox, what's up, Fox? Congrats on the baby. Synth, haven't seen you, hopefully you're doing well. Frederick, Absolute Shannon, Nightmare, Dirty Casual, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Ginger Prime, Philip Rakovich, Philly, Haplo, Candy Lagans of the Danger Zone, The Bizza, Black Jeeves 23, Exorcy, and Skippy to your rhyming friends, Jessica Gamble, Sup Jess. Skippy is who I played in that game, by the way. Really, really great game. I hope you check it out. Mr. Slush Death, the King of Bros, Bro, the Great Kazoo, Werewolf, Kevsy Hoda, Luna Chris, Glam, Colonel Forbin, Rob Silverman, M. Holland, David G. Wingfield, Stephen, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B., Mr. Craig Sterry, Matt V., real name town ends there, Renman, Corbin, John Q, and Jim McHugh, Q-Town, our neighbors, Yes Out, Ace Sage, One Big Brand, Milkman for Reals, Cactus Jack, Reapser, BG, Hood Pro, Joe. I saw your question. I'll get to it tomorrow. Snap Decision Doe, Dick Garlow, Models Not Supreme, Boop, Bookada Boom Bop, Green Goblin, Unibot, Flan 56, Diva, Spectrum X, Hoot, Ocularis, Matt, Age, DJ, Mikey Edgings, No Frickin' Flex, Nikki, Nick the Greek Geek, who ditched me. Toxic Soul King, Toxie, Zodrex, the King of Canada, Demon Falcon, Newman, it's Father Newman time, Jonesy, Two Ties, the Great Lord as the Pirate King Tucker, and of course Gunny T, where the T stands for Snap Judgments, y'all. If you want the best bundle, sorry, if you want the best Snap Packs guide, we got all the math from Lauren in yesterday morning's video. Don't miss it. And we nailed our day one builds because we rocked with them today. Check out yesterday's videos. Watch more Snap Take. Peace.